So one of my customers asked me if you could in EasyBallistics replace the penetration and ricochet model with his own. This video probably won't be relevant for most of you. However, if you're interested in keep watching. So first we are going to disable the built-in system. So we are going to just set penetration and ricochet to 0, and I'm going to test if it worked. Yeah, as you can see, bullets don't go anywhere. Hold on a second, I'll turn on the backtrace. Oh, it is on. That's because we are in multiplayer and the bullets despawn before the back could be activated. So here we are. And next we'll have only certain type of actor it can pass through. So this is so far similar to what I was doing in the collision filter tutorial. So this actor will be in some way penetrable. So let's call it, I don't know, penetrable. And next thing we need to do is to set up collision in a way that it will go through the collision filter. So where's our collisions? Here they are. So we're going to go with custom, and bullet will be set to overlap like this. And of course, in our bullet blueprint, we are going to override collision filter. Hold on a second, where you are. There it is. And yeah, at the moment we're returning false, so any object that is set to overlap can be shot through. Now, what the customer wanted was a system that's binary. That means either the penetration is higher than armor value of the object or lower, and nothing between. But what I'm going to do is make the system a little bit more universal, so it can be applied to multiple classes of actors. So what I'm going to do is create a blueprint interface, and let's call it, I don't know, just pen test, like this. And of course, this actor will use this interface. So, where is? Oh, it's in class settings. Sorry about that. So here we are going to implement this interface, and the interface will have a function called get armor. Say it will have no inputs, and it will output a float. Let's just call it armor, like this. And now for each actor using this interface, say this one, you'll have an interface function called get armor. So in this case, let's say for this particular actor, that will return, I don't know, 5. Yeah. Now let's go back to our bullet, back to our collision filter, and in here we're going to open the hit result, and here we have the actor that we are going to hit. Yeah, and here we can check if it has this armor interface. Hold on a second. Does implement interface, and here pen test like this. So if it does have this interface, we are going to do some other logic and say if it doesn't, we are just going to return hit as normally. Hold on a second. We are going to call get armor here, and it should return the armor value that this interface returns. So in this case it would be 5, and we are going to compare it with like simple binary penetration value of this bullet. So if it's, let's say, less than, I don't know, this particular bullet will have 6. You can of course add parameter, but if it's less than 6, we're going to return false. Like this. Hold on a second. So if it's less than 6, we are returning false. Otherwise, we can return true because it cannot penetrate, and collision is done like normally. So let's test it, and if it works, the bullets will pass through. However, if the armor is more than 6, say 8, it no longer does. And of course, since you're most likely going to have multiple types of bullets, we can just create a variable. So let's call it binary. And let's default it to 6. And we are going to compare in filter against this fixed value. And one more thing that does need to be done, because the backtracing checks the collision filter multiple times per unit of path done by the bullet. We don't want to check multiple times against object we already know we can penetrate. So in case we are returning false, we can just get ignored actors. That's a function of the EB bullet. So, and we are going to add this actor to it, so it won't get checked against anytime again, like this. And And the one final thing the customer asked for is that after a certain number of penetrations, we do want to always despawn the bullet. So in here we can also check the size of this list, and that will be the number of actors we have ignored. So I don't know if it's size or count. Oh, it's length. Okay, so we can compare this number, and if it's greater than some number, I don't know, let's say 3, then it's going to despawn even in this case. So let's check if it's greater than 3. We are going to return true in this case also. And now let's check if it works. So here I'm going to have to duplicate this actor a couple of times. And see if it works. Oh yeah, I set the armor too high. 5. And let's try again. And as you can see, it went through 3 objects, and after 4th it stopped. And that's it, I think. One more thing actually. Damage, if you want to apply damage also to objects that didn't stop the bullet, you can of course do it inside the filter. So apply damage to this guy. And that's it.